Welcome to the DYSON'S Effect.
A show about everyday situations, issues, and topics we talk about and give our opinions.
We may even listen to yours.
We are your hosts, Johnny
and Theresa,
also known as Mr. and Mrs. Dyson. Hey, everybody. This is Johnny.
This is Theresa.
And this is another episode of the
DYSON'S Effect.
You mad at me? You punch me. You feel like being abusive right now. You don't know what to say? I messed up, y'all. I messed up big time with my production skills. I'm hot. I messed up. What'd he say on baby boy? I'm sorry. I effed up. So, how you been doing? How you been feeling?
I'm good.
How you been doing mentally?
I'm good.
Physically? Spiritually? I'm sorry. I got to do better. You think we need another producer? Huh?
Maybe.
You probably need another producer. So, y'all just don't know. Today been a long day. It's gonna be a little bit long, but we almost there. And that's half the battle. So this topic is something that we've been talking about for a while. We've been hinting around it. We've talked around it. It's been floating around social media a lot. It's been something that has been one of the biggest clashes between women and men. It has been something that's a big clash between the economic conditions of women over the course of time, over the things that they have and have not done. So I think this topic crosses over racial barriers as well. What's the topic, baby?
Do men want a submissive woman?
Say that again, Tobias. In the mic, baby.
Do men want a submissive woman?
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's what all men want.
So do you think men want a submissive woman?
Yes.
You think all men want a submissive woman?
Yes.
Even quote unquote weak men?
Yes.
Why do you feel that way?
Because I mean, they want someone to listen to. I'm not gonna say be there for their every beck and call, but kind of have things when they need things and know that they need things. Cook, clean, things like that. Yeah, they want it.
So that's partial. That's not being. That's some of the things. That's some of the things being submissive. As you said before on here that you didn't have an older aunt, uncle, well, older female, older aunt, older grandmother, godmother, no one that gave you any advice on how to conduct yourself in a relationship, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, do you think that you are submissive towards me?
I mean, yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10? Come on, say the answer that you said before.
Probably 5.
A 5? A 5?
Mm-hmm.
You a submissive about a 5.5 on the Richter scale.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think you are a 5? Well, I'll say this. Oh no, why do you think you are a 5?
Because I do what I want to do most of the time.
And you ain't finna listen to me.
Most of the time.
So to be honest, would you like to be higher than 5, to be honest?
Yeah.
You would like to be higher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's stopping you from being higher?
No, nothing.
You doing what you want to do. You doing what you want to do. That's what's stopping you from being hired. So, being submissive. Could you look up the definition of what submissive is, please, baby? Would you do the people so gracious and kind on what the definition of submissive is? Because a lot of people have an idea of what they know.
Ready to conform to the authority or will of others, meekly obedient or passive.
Do you think that definition is true?
Somewhat.
Elaborate.
I don't see that. I don't think it just means because you say shut up, I'm gonna shut up. I don't think
jump,
it means.
You supposed to say how,
yeah.
like on Martin.
I don't think it means you say go cook some food. You know, I'm running a scrambling to cook the food. So that yes and no. I mean, obviously that's the dictionary meaning for, but in reality, does it really mean those things?
So for the people that know, one of the reasons why we started this podcast is because we have so many friends coming to us for advice, and now after the podcast, so many are coming to us for advice. So with that being said, do you think that we have family, friends, and others have problems in their relationship because of they may not want to submit to their significant other?
Yeah. I would say yeah. Some other friendship relationships I see. Yes.
Interesting.
Now, do they see it? Maybe not. Maybe it's the norm for them. But me on the outside looking in, yes, I see.
Did you ever have you probably don't remember because I remember everything. Was it anything that happened in our relationship? Something that happened and it was your aha moment that was like, oh, this is what one of the things of being submissive is. If you could remember. Think about it. Okay, let's switch it up a little bit. Were you submissive towards me before we got married?
Probably not.
And what was the cause of that?
Wasn't married.
So you don't have to submit unto me because we're not married? Interesting. Why not?
And I was super young, so that wasn't the least thing that I was trying to do. So
Interesting. So you weren't trying to submit on this mic because you young. You weren't. Obviously not talking about when we got together. I'm just talking about the time period. Was it a time period within that process? No. We're gonna have to talk after this show, man. We're gonna have to talk. I see. I'm gonna have to get you some straightening. I'm gonna have to get you some straightening. So, how did you learn how to be submissive? Or are you still learning?
yeah, I'm still learning, as I stated.
You're still learning. What is a hard thing for you to be being submissive? Being honest. I mean, because that's honest. I mean, because people on here, as we said before, people look up to you in many different ways.
I mean, knowing what it is, I don't really know and can't really say I understand. I mean, I can read it, I get it, but to do it is another thing, I guess.
I guess it's the processing of it. Taking it all in, getting it to make sense to you, and cultivating it to you. So, I think that we were living in Columbus, Ohio at the time, and it's a large Muslim community there. just using that as an example of seeing so many Muslims, that you see so many women that submits unto the husband, right? So when people are in a religion, be it Baptist, Christian, Muslim, Hinduism, Buddhist, and all those things and more, it's easier to submit unto your significant other based on those religions. Being that religion has been taken out of the home and schools and many other places, right, wrong, and different, for whatever reason, it's harder for people to submit unto their significant other because of those things that are leaving. And as we talked about before, one of the greatest things a woman can do, well, one of the things what a woman was to do at one point in time was to get married. That was one of the greatest things that was accomplishment for a woman. There was a movie, I think it's called Little Women or something like that. And it's another movie when it's like 7 or 9 young girls, and an accomplishment for them is to go off and get married when you turn 18. And some of them, in a lot of cases, in a lot of this time period, 16, 17, 18. And even in the movie Color Purple, he wanted to marry Celia off when she was, I think, what, 15, 14? Mm-hmm. So that was, like I said, not to demean women, but that was in many centuries, that was an accomplishment for a woman to get married. Now that women are in a different stratosphere where they are, it's different now.
Yeah, that's probably why it's hard for a lot of women to be submissive, so per se.
So
Because they make just as much money as the men, if not more. They're running businesses, they're making 6-7 figures a year and some a month. So in their mind, it's kind of hard for them to, let you lead them into the unknown, or let you lead them into maybe them losing everything they've worked so hard for. So, and that's just a lot of the women in 2021. Obviously, back then, a woman was more submissive and did more for their man and their household because that's all they had. That was their job. Taking care of their home, making sure the kids was okay, and making sure the husband was happy while the husband went out and made all the money and paid all the bills and put food on the table.
All the bills.
So that was more so of your job back then was to be submissive, to be a housewife, to be a mother. So when I walked through this door, my food was piping hot on the kitchen table waiting. But now that women are running businesses, even if they have kids and they married, they're running a business. Some are running businesses and working a 9-to-5, plus taking care of kids and a husband. So I think that kind of is put on the back burner and a point to it's like, okay, we're both equally this and that. You make money, I make money, so we're gonna share these responsibilities around this house. It's not just gonna be put off on me because I'm the woman. I'm not gonna clean because I'm the woman. I'm not gonna be the only one cooking because I'm the woman. So I think nowadays women kind of put their foot down with a lot more than what they did back then when it comes to being submissive.
So what do you think submissive means? You read the definition, kind of like what you said before on what submissive. What do you think submissive means?
Letting your significant other lead.
Elaborate.
Meaning lead this household into a better situation. I'm trusting you to make sure the bills are paid, or I'm trusting you to make sure that we'll have food to eat. And by doing that, I kind of, not saying let my guard down, but I let you be the man. I don't I don't hound you and holler at you and tell you what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing, and did you do this and did you do that, because naturally, if you're leading us and I trust you to lead us, those things are going to be done.
Thank you for that, baby. Yes, yes, you do that. But that's a piece of it. The leading is a very important part. It's a piece of it. Do you see some of our? I know some of my family. Do you see some of our family and friends that do some of the things that you said you don't do? Do they do that in their relationships?
What do you mean don't do? What I say I don't do?
You don't. You allow. You don't nag me. You
Oh yeah.
let
So
me.
do I see that some people don't allow their significant other to lead and to
Yes.
be
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
They always have to be in control, or they want to make the decisions, or yeah. Yeah, that's it.
And being that you brought up control, do you think control is a very important aspect of being submissive?
Letting go of control.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
What is
Because
that?
if you feel like you have to control everything, how are you going to be submissive if you're controlling what I do, how I do, and when I do it?
So is that a part of something that's hard for you to let go of? Is control, or is it
Mm,
something else?
no, I don't want. I wouldn't say it's control.
What would you say it is? Or is control a piece of it?
Could be.
Could be a little bit more deeper than that.
Mm, maybe. Mm,
Yeah, one more time.
maybe.
No, but you don't do those things, and those are pieces of being submissive. But I think that I think it was a famous singer that was married to a sanitation worker. They divorced now, but I was wondering, was she submissive unto him because he was a sanitation worker and she was this famous singer and actress, and could she submit herself unto him because she's not just of the money, because she's famous, because famous is a drug too, so you have to get off of that high to come down sometimes to be regular, because sometimes you, even if they're humble, they still get a little bit of that, like, because they need some of that to make music. They need some of that to be an actor. They need some of that to be some type of entertainer. If you're a basketball player, you need some of that, the things that they give you, like, to give you a little ego or whatever to help you do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering, was she submissive unto him? That's an interesting question. Like, do you think that the finances is a major part in women not being submissive unto men for our generation in today's time?
In the modern day and time, yes. Because I feel like a lot of women think if I make more money than you, or I make all the money, why am I listening to you? You can't even lead me nowhere. You can't even go pay the bills without, getting my card or taking my card, or so yeah. I think in this modern day time, being submissive, women have a problem with doing, because for one, they're making the money, and they feel like you're if you're the man and I'm supposed to, follow you, then can't do that if you're broke. Where I'm gonna follow you where? To be broke, to be homeless?
Women do say that.
Yeah.
Women do say that.
Like, where are you gonna lead us to?
Women, I have heard women speak of that.
So yeah, I think it happens a lot more nowadays than back in the day, per se.
So, a piece of what I'm saying is that when it comes to being submissive, I think that we've lost on how to create for each other a better situation for each other. So, are you put in that situation? For example, let's just say if it is control. If it's control, you're putting the control situation based on being submissive or not. And is that the right decision? Let's say it's leading. The leading situation, you do not want this person to lead. And is that the right decision based on being submissive? Now, the reason why I'm saying it that way is because we have to look at it in, are we putting our own selfish issues in the way of what's in the betterment for our family? What's in the betterment for this relationship? It's too hard to talk about if we just been boyfriend and girlfriend, but and maybe y'all common law married, but in most marriages, how are you being submissive? So, we said it before on here, is that being that you allow me to lead, if I'm the head, you're the neck. I don't make any decision without you, right? And to submit to me is to submit unto me, not behind me. It's on the side of me, right? So, being in submission. See, a lot of people think that being submission, like, it's like wrestling. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take you down and you gonna do what I say. 1, 2, 3, ding, 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 I won. Like, some people think it's like wrestling. Like, you submitting. Like, that in wrestling, that's what it's a submit move, right? You got to take somebody down, knock them out, take control. So, a lot of people think it's a submission move that you have to do. You have to take it by force, when it's actually not. It's really the opposite. To submit is to be in love with someone, to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable to submit to. Like, I give my heart, my will, my trust, my loyalty, my everything to you, because I submit unto you. Just how even people may disagree, but just like when you submit unto God, God is not forcing you down and put you under a river and you go to God that way. You submit unto God because he showed you love, right? Now, you found an article that was interesting that talked about being submissive. Now, the woman in this article has some opinions on it. It's a little bit different as opposed to what some women think was right and was wrong. But what I think what submissive is, what you think what submissive is, what the listeners think what submissive is very different. What are the things that she's talk about in submissive, and what is her name?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Renee Wade.
Okay.
How to be submissive in a relationship.
Okay.
It just says modern women forget the value of having the ability to be submissive. Um, Basically saying that it's not the women being a housewife role, or someone not having an opinion. Um, Also, not encouraging women to be submissive all the time. Being submissive is just another role that a woman can take up every now and then in her relationship with a high value masculine man. The reason I'm talking about being submissive is because I can bring more passion, strength, and life to a health. It can bring more passion, strength, and life to a healthy relationship. If your submissiveness is received by a man with love and respect, the key point here is that you need to do this inside a healthy relationship. So basically saying don't be submissive to a
What do you think is a high value masculine man? What do you think that is?
I mean, It just speaks for itself. Nobody,
It don't though. It don't though. It don't. It
yeah,
don't.
masculine,
High
a man,
value.
man.
High. What's the value placed on?
No, I don't know.
Good answer. Good answer. Great.
Being submissive, whether in a joking or serious way, can awaken the most masculine yet tender character in a man. Being a submissive woman is almost never about admitting you're wrong or less worthy than a man, but being submissive just allows for a man to feel more like a man around you, and as a result, have that extra bit of passion for you.
Feel more like a man around you, baby.
I'm just gonna skip over some of this.
Being
Our
submissive.
society has encouraged women to keep their guard up and wear masks instead of being comfortable in their core slash essence.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Society wise. Well, yeah. Yeah. Even with the somewhat the feminine movement now.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, maybe some could. That is a good argument someone could make that women are not being submissive because of this movement. Ah,
Many of us naturally feminine women have gotten the
feminine,
message that we need to hide it away. Instead of being feminine, we
feminine.
we often choose to be in control. At the very least, we prefer to give the impression that we are in control. Also, it's important to remember that going to school from a young age teaches us that being right is high on the list of importance. We as women now have to be right, be smart, and be intelligent too. However, I realize that does not help in a relationship whatsoever. Many women have also learned that they need to be like steel in the face of conflict. That is definitely not how a submiss not how that is definitely not how to be submissive at all.
Interesting. So, do you agree with her
To be still in the face is not being
overall?
submissive.
Overall,
I
overall.
mean, there's some great key points in here.
Key points in
I've mentioned it before, I mention it again. A man really wants his woman to be open to him and to let him in emotionally, mentally, sexually, and spiritually. This is because it's erotic for a man to feel the feeling of a woman gradually opening and trusting in him in his direction. Of course, when we surrender to and trust a man's masculine direction in the bedroom, that allows him to feel our feminine energy. He also gets to feel more of a man in the process of feeling your submissiveness and dominating you, hopefully, from a place of love.
it. So, is she correct? As she's going more and more so she said a word that that's interesting. She said surrender. Do you think that's correct? Surrendering? Like you have to surrender something? One of the things she's talking about is control. I think control is a piece of it. It's not a lot of it or all of it. Control is a piece of being submissive. But I think submissive is, to sum it up, I think submissive is us being submissive unto each other, right? I think that submissive is one of the things of being submissive is leading. You know, some of the things that you said, you trust me to lead us, you trust me to make the right decisions for our family. One of the things in leading is relinquishing control, but I don't think it's me having control over you or you having control over me or you not listening to me or you have to listen to what I say, so on and so forth. I think being submissive is us being submissive unto each other. I think we are and have to, and to be married, you have to compromise. A lot of things is not about what I want, and may not be about what you want. A lot of times, being submissive is what is in the betterment of our family, what is the betterment of the relationship, what is in the betterment for our, not just our kids, now our grandchild. How does being submissive change the dynamic on what's being better? So, do you set your issues aside to make the right decision and being submissive in that process? When many couples are married 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, regardless of the day and age and time, they had to compromise on many different things. Neither one of them got their way. Neither one of them got what they wanted. And it wasn't about them. It wasn't about one person solely. It was about both of them together. Would you agree? So I think about when it comes to being submissive, is us being submissive unto each other. And you can also seeing how I can be submissive unto a higher power. I can be submissive and not move away any ego. It has nothing to do with finances. It has nothing to do with who's right. It has nothing to do with pride. Nothing that doesn't or isn't the betterment of our family. Nothing that isn't the betterment of our children or what we're trying to accomplish for our goals. I think being submissive is bigger than you allowing me to lead or you giving me control over a situation. It's you walking beside me when we make these decisions. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Would you? So, when we are submissive in this process, we're submissive into the choices that we make for our family. So, when you are submissive, there's a lot of things that you have to know and let go in a relationship. A lot of things that you have to submit unto. You know, it's not surrendering and it's not a takedown. It's not a quick movement. It's not a winner and it's not a loser. It's what's in the betterment of our family, right? So we have to be in submissive unto each other. There's a lot of times that, I hold her on a pedestal and she hold me on a pedestal and we make the right decision together. A lot of times she may have to make the right decision without me, or I may have to make the right decision, or I won't say it right, I have to make we may have to make decisions without each other, but with each other's support. Trusting, as you said before, trusting each one of us to make those decisions, trusting each one of us to do the right thing, whatever the compromise is. Right? Wouldn't you say so?
Yes.
So, I think that that's what's missing in today and age and time. I think that that's what's one of the things that we can pass on to our generation, and most importantly, to end on this note, I think it's very important that we can pass this on down to our children on our submissiveness unto each other, to not let it be about control, leading, surrendering. It's about what do we do together for your religion or for your family, whatever you see fit to make the right decision, not about one person and what they think. Right, baby?
Yes.
So, that's going to wrap everything up. Everybody tune in. Follow my beautiful, beautiful wife. New page she got coming up. She got some new products coming out on her website, right? She had it with me. She got some new products. Some of them pre-sold. Be the first to get them before they sell out. I got some new ideas I'm working on. Please stay in contact with me and with us. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Email us at thedyson'sfect@hotmail.com. Like our YouTube page, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow us on all our social media handles. And always This is Johnny,
And this is Theresa.
and this is another episode of the
DYSON'S.
Peace Blessings.